Let me help you get the most out of your Seint eyeshadow palettes with this tutorial. I'm going to be using a blending brush and a crease brush. I do have the Seint eyeshadow brush on its way to me, but you always want a more fluffy brush and then a slightly more dense brush. I always start with a base color. My base color is usually the lightest of what I have. You can put your eyeshadow on first before your foundation in case you have any fallout. Or like today, I already have all of my makeup on, so I actually put my highlight shade up and over my lid to create like an even base coat as well. So totally up to you, totally different options, whether you do your eyeshadow before or after your makeup. Take my more fluffy brush and do a couple dabs in, I actually have two base colors, so in either base color. Then I like to tap off the excess like that. That will help prevent fallout as well. And then I hold the brush at the very end and I do not press the eyeshadow or the eyeshadow brush into your lid. It's like very light dusting, and I'm going to do some windshield wiper motion side to side like this. So if you have hooded eyes, apply your base coat with your eye open like this, so that way you will get the eyeshadow color up and over the hood, so you'll actually be able to see the colors. And also notice I'm not going all the way up to my eyebrow. I am keeping a little line right through here. Okay, so just a little bit of dusting. You can go in and do that, you know, a couple times until you get the pigment that you want, but this is like my base coat, so I am going all over my lid. I don't like my eyeshadow to be right through here, so see how I'm kind of bringing it up at an angle. If you get too much eyeshadow over here, no worries, literally just go like that and wipe it off. Bonus of doing your eyeshadow before your foundation is that you can get a little messier, so you can actually bring it like up and over here, so that way when you apply your highlight, you can just bring your highlight up and out like that and create like a perfect line. A smooth application, you're just gonna keep blending and hold the brush super light, and that's why I hold it at the end so that I'm not tempted to hold it here and like start pushing my eyeshadow in. I'm gonna take my little slightly denser brush and dab it in the darker shade. So doing the same thing, I'm pressing it in, I'm not swirling or anything. Dab a little bit, just close my eyes a little bit, grab me a nice mirror, and this I'm gonna go in a V shape. So I'm gonna draw, and again, I'm holding at the end of my brush. So I'm gonna draw forward and back, and then up and down to create a V. And then again, if we have hooded eyes, I'm right above my hood. See how I have my hood right there? Can't see the eyeshadow, so I wanna bring it up just a little bit, but I'm not going, with this darker shade, I'm not going as high as I did with the base. So I'm creating almost like a rainbow effect where it's like nothing base and then a little bit of a darker matte or satin shade. And then you just keep blending, blending and blending. Just make sure you have a really good mirror so that you can see smudging. You just keep blending that out in a V. And then if you get it too far out, you can grab your highlight and kind of brush it up again. And see, I'm going out from the outer part of my eye up towards the end of my eyebrow. That is going to give you like the perfect lift and angle right through there. So you can even clean it up like that at the end. That's such a pretty color. You can go darker than this and just dab a little bit more of the dark and just do a little bit of smudging right through here. Have the eyeshadow brush from Seint. You'll actually use the smudge side and you can grab that darker shade. I'm just gonna use this one and pinch it a little bit and then smudge a little bit right here where you would have like some eyeliner to create more of a smoky look. Gonna make your eyes pop. Blue eyes, hazel eyes, and then whatever extra I have, I'll just go back through here. Since I do have hooded eyes, I want that brown to show, so I'm just gonna kind of go side to side right here. This will actually make our eyes look less hooded by bringing the color up a little bit. This is just like a highlight, an illuminator right up through here. Chisel out the eyebrow and give a really good eye lift. I don't always do this just because of time reasons. This is actually my concealer shade that I'm adding now with a thin brush. But if you're doing like a girls' night out or a dinner night out, or you like full glam, grab your lip brush and draw a little line of the highlighter right there. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Back to my base coat, but just a little bit. And then I'm gonna just brush this over top and just kind of get those two colors to melt together. But I like using my ring finger because of the natural oils in our fingers. It actually helps the shimmers pop. So I'm going to take the shimmer, I'm going to take my middle finger and just rub it side to side like that. And then I'm going to look down into my mirror and just press and like stamp the shimmer right here. Okay, and then if you want more, you can grab more. Or like reddish tones, it's gonna really change your color of your eye and make your eyes pop. It'll be so pretty. And okay, another way for your eyeshadow, you want a small flat brush, and then you can spray your prime and set mist on the, oh, it's going too much, on the brush, dip it in your shimmer, and then press it in. So this will help that shimmer pop as well. So this is another option instead of using your finger, but I always press my shimmers in right through here. Don't forget to dab off the excess, because if you start putting like too much eyeshadow on, of course you can keep blending it out, but I always start slowly and build up, build up, build up. I don't bring the eyeshadow up to my eyebrow. I don't bring the eyeshadow, the darker shades or really anything dark over through here, but if I get too much right here, I'll just kind of pull it and brush it off like that. Make sure if you have hooded eyes that you're dusting with your eye open so that you can see the colors. And I always kind of start low and then build up. You don't want to press hard into your lid, then it will start creasing and it won't blend as effortlessly. And I always do a base, and I always do the darker matte out on this outer corner. I don't put shimmers like all over my lid or up through here. Hope that this was super helpful. You can do this with any eyeshadow colors as long as you just think base, darker shade, and your shimmer, and you're good to go. And you can do so many fun different looks. If there's any other tutorials you'd like to see, don't hesitate to reach out, and I'm happy to help. If you are using the same brush and transitioning into different shades, you can use the brush cleaner. You're going to spray it onto the bristles and gently wipe it off onto a clean cloth to remove any makeup from the brush. You can repeat this as necessary, but don't oversaturate the brush. And then I always dab it on the back of my hand just to make sure that it's dry. It's super gentle on the bristles and it'll help them last.